Story 1. I, 24F, blacked out and slept with a C-suite executive, 51M, at work, and I have no idea how to proceed. I've never done anything like this. I work in a boys' club environment where everyone goes out and gets drunk after big meetings. I'm the youngest by far and was hired because of an influential paper I wrote. Everyone else is married or divorced. I have never slept with a coworker, and this is my first one-night stand in 4 to 5 years. This isn't typical for me. I haven't spent much time around this guy, but he's a C-suite executive at my company. We went out, and I don't even remember talking to him much. I talked to another coworker. The next day, I asked him 48M, friendly, about the night, and he said I got very drunk, was quiet, and ready to go home. We all went back to the hotel, and I disappeared after that. I have no recollection of coming back to the hotel, no recollection of talking to this executive at the bars, only before trying to get to know him a bit earlier. I don't know if I initiated anything, but that would be out of character. He's married with kids. I was wearing a shirt that's hard to unbutton sober, but I woke up in my own bed with it off. Text records suggest this happened around 3 a.m. The next day, the executive called and said I left something in his room. He told me not to text him about this, but to call and not to mention how good it was or anything, because he can't ruin his marriage. He said this has to be kept a secret and will discreetly return my item later this month. What the hell do I do? Part of me wants to ask him what happened. I'm dying to know. How did I get to his room? How did I get back to mine? Who initiated? Did I fall asleep? Was I active, or did I just lie there? Did he finish? Where? I have so many questions. I understand this could be assault, but I don't want to go to HR because what if I initiated it? I don't want to ruin his life or my reputation. What if he hates me after this or doesn't respect me professionally? I think it would be easy to keep this quiet, but I don't know how to interact with him. Is it a bad idea to ask him what happened? I'm mostly embarrassed and sad that I don't know what happened, but I don't feel violated. If anything, I feel taken advantage of because he's over twice my age, has more power and money, and clearly wasn't as drunk as I was. But it doesn't feel like he did something evil on purpose. I know I wouldn't have made that choice sober, but there's no evidence of violence or force, so it's my own drunken mistake. I was trying to get to know him earlier in the meeting since we've never spoken, and he's influential, so maybe he mistook it as flirting. Update. The hotel said they can't give me CCTV without a subpoena but will watch it and answer some questions. Please don't just tell me I messed up by drinking. I know I did. I usually don't drink at work, and everyone else does. This time, it was a combination of peer pressure and personal issues. I will never drink at work again. I'm an idiot, I get it. Edit. I am nearly certain I was not drugged, but I'll get tested. I drank a lot. I just don't know how to interact with him moving forward. Any advice on that would be appreciated. Comment 1. Go to the hospital asked to test for the date or drug. Comment 2. Just writing to share that a similar thing happened to me after a work holiday party. Same age as you. All our executives flew in from out of town, and we had a very bougie party. I was somewhat flattered into joining a table of these C-levels who just fed me drinks. I thought it was just a meeting of the minds, and they were interested in getting to know me because of my stellar performance at work. As I was browning out and someone put his hand on me knee, I all of a sudden realized the vibe. I discreetly called an Uber and Irish goodbye the creepy jerks. And then I had to work with them for 2 more years. And I was so embarrassed. The feeling you get from waking up the next day and not remembering how things went down, oh, it's brutal. I called a few friends and found out basically my reputation became compromised and other people at the company were talking shit about me. It sucked. I ultimately completely resolved myself of the situation. I was a young girl at my first job, and these were career businessmen with families, like you mentioned. They knew they were taking advantage of 1. Alcohol, 2. Power imbalance to be coercive. You know who would never treat a young girl like that? My dad, who is the operations director of a huge company. He would never be trying to cozy up to the young pretty girls who work for him, period. So, it was this guy who was in the wrong, not you. And how will this play out going forward? You will need to forgive yourself and ultimately ignore him. Hold your head up high. And if anyone is cause to be embarrassed, it's him. Sending love, girl. Comment 3. Is there any way request the security footage of the hotel around the time you came back? This whole situation is really bizarre and not your fault. I don't want to scare you, but if this guy roofied you, you don't even know if it was just him, and he's only acting this way, calling you, and telling you this story to make everything seem more normal. I wish you all the best. I'm sorry this is happening. Comment 4. Do not send friendly texts back to the sea level. He's going to use it as proof that you had a good time. Comment 5. A 50-year-old man in a leadership position knows exactly what he's doing when he makes a move on a blackout drunk junior colleague. You're feeling a lot of different things right now. It's overwhelming and confusing, but you need to move to protect yourself and your interests. It's going to take a long time to process and understand what's happened. This isn't something you're going to resolve right now, this week, this month. But there are a few steps you need to take. Write down exactly what you remember, dates, names, who was there, what they said, when he called you, what he said in the call. Write it out by hand or send it in an email to yourself. Depending on when this happened, go to the hospital and see if they can check you for signs of assault. If it was more than a week ago, get them to check you for STDs and pregnancy. If you have a trusted friend you can talk to about this, talk to them. If you can schedule an emergency therapy session, or you have a family doctor you can talk to, make an appointment. I'm sorry this happened. You didn't deserve it. Comment 6. Call the hotel and ask for the footage of you going to your then-his room. I think that footage might prove to be informative and revealing. You don't seem to realize that you were assaulted and incapable of consent. Story 2. I, 35F, regret marrying my husband, 34M. How to get past this. I, 35F, feel like I made a huge mistake. I grew up in a household with a lot of fighting. During my doctoral studies, I had a perfect 4-year relationship with a doctor. He was loving, funny, generous, kind, and had a strong character and similar values. We never fought. I was happy, fulfilled, motivated, secure, and a better person with him. I remember thinking he would be a great dad. That time felt almost alien to me because I had never experienced such stability and support. I didn't know how good I had it. However, our sex life wasn't great. Eventually, I moved away for a dream job. While I was away, I cheated on him with my current husband, and we broke up. My husband and I met through trail running. Sharing that niche passion felt special. I overlooked the fact that he only had a high school education and earned minimum wage, while I make 6 figures. I was young and thought love would be enough. Over time, cracks appeared. While I worked hard and saved for a house, he'd disappear for days on camping trips, leaving me with chores and our dog. We fought over small things and had communication issues. Our senses of humor didn't align, e.g., I questioned if he was racist because of his jokes. Our empathy levels differed. In my 30s, I felt I had to make it work. I later realized that guilt from cheating often makes you feel like you need to be with that person to feel like it's the right thing to do. So we got married and had a baby. After the baby, our differences amplified. He took an expensive career change that I'm funding. He's often tired and needs to study after work or on weekends. When not studying, he's on his phone instead of spending time with me or our baby. He says he needs to decompress. I've reduced my screen time for our baby. He prioritizes his career, despite the low pay, and wants to move out of state for it. I don't want to leave our community, grandparents, and good schools. He does almost no childcare during the week. On weekends, he might have 15 to 30-minute spontaneous play sessions, making it hard for me to plan anything. Despite being an absent parent, he's very opinionated about raising our baby, and everything is my fault, according to him. He threatens me with more workload. If I complain about his absence as a dad while he's playing with our baby, he leaves the room and says, "I'm playing with him for you. If you're not grateful, I need to get back to work." He is entitled. He saved $0 for our home's down payment, yet demanded 3 car garages and a music studio, which he doesn't use. I conceded, but now I'm resentful. I'm resentful seeing friends who married their classmates living in nice homes and safe neighborhoods or owning multiple properties, while I've had to compromise because I'm the sole breadwinner. Our educational differences affect our conversations. He doesn't seem to care about global or political issues deeply or empathetically. He doesn't know how to do conflict resolution and seems too insecure to apologize. In 8 years, he's only apologized once or twice, while I apologize after almost every argument. He's always tired. A morning at the park requires 3 hours in bed, 2 on his phone, 1 napping. I know money and education aren't everything. I feel like this is karma for cheating on my ex. I feel lost and alone. I'm wondering if things will get better or how to move past this. Did I make a mistake? Thank you for reading. Comment 1. Sorry, but your last point is so funny. You think your ultramarathon running partner is exhausted by going to the park? The truth is he just doesn't want to spend time with you and the baby, just like how you don't really enjoy your conversations with him. You both resent each other. Comment 2. It's been 8 years of this, and you still think things are going to get better? Has it gotten better? No. Will it get better? No. What makes you stay? It can't be the child he never spends time with? You've made one mistake in marrying him, but you can still get a divorce. You don't have to live your life stuck with him. Edit to add, please get therapy. The good relationship felt alien to you because it's not the version of love you grew up seeing, so it felt alien. Then you met and cheated with your husband, who is familiar to you. He is basically your dad. You repeated the cycle, but now that you've identified it, I suggest therapy to help you break out. Individual therapy, not couples. I know you don't have the time, but you need to carve out the time for therapy. Comment 3. That's crazy that this new guy treats you horribly and you are completely loyal to him. And the ex who treated you perfectly, you cheated without hesitation. Advice: be divorce and move on, I suppose. You'll probably have to pay your husband spousal support as you make more. Comment 4. Self-sabotage to the extreme. Please divorce him. You're already a single mother. You just don't realize it. Definitely start therapy before jumping into your next relationship. Story 3. I 28F think a nap ruined my marriage to 30M. I'm 28F, married to 30M. I'll probably delete this in the morning, but I need to vent. I've been married for under a year, but with my husband for 6. We have a fantastic 3-month-old daughter. I'm a stay-at-home first-time mom. My husband works from home. My husband is emotionally inept at times. I've had resentment building since I was pregnant. His mom tormented me by talking about miscarriages, stillbirths, and saying dead baby to me when my husband wasn't around. He sympathized, but nothing was ever truly done. Since I gave birth, my husband has been clueless. While I was recovering in the hospital, he would go home to sleep, leaving me alone because the couch was uncomfortable. I had to call him 20 times to get him to come back because I was lonely. Then, when we left, he asked me to carry things to the car. The nurse had to tell him I shouldn't be carrying anything, having just given birth. At home, he complained about his lack of sleep. I was struggling to learn to nurse and was constantly crying about sleep deprivation while he got 8 to 10 hours of uninterrupted sleep every night. This caused many fights because I couldn't hear him complain about being exhausted without having a meltdown. Then his mom would come over, and they'd leave a huge mess for me to clean up. He complained about the basement being messy, so I helped him lift things and clean it up. This caused me to bleed heavily, and my doctor told me I shouldn't be lifting anything heavy. This is a point of contention because my husband continuously asked me to help him lift heavy things, and when I couldn't, he'd get annoyed and complain about it all day. Now, we're at month 3, and I think my marriage is over. We've been distant since the baby arrived, and I haven't wanted to be affectionate. My husband keeps asking if I'm all right, and I say I'm fine. I don't know what else to say. But I feel miserable and tense up every time he's in the same room. Today, he was on my case about walking our dog. I'm exhausted from exclusively breastfeeding and don't have the energy. I had been up since 2:30 a.m. with the baby and couldn't handle anything else. He whined but promised I could nap. I snapped, reminding him I haven't slept a full 8 hours in months. He got pissy and stormed off. He avoided me all day and locked himself in his office. I spent the day randomly breaking down in sobs because I was so tired. At 11 p.m., he still hadn't come out, so I went to get him. He gave me the cold shoulder, and I broke down, telling him I hated him, wished I could go home, and even mentioned divorce. He calmed me down and apologized for being selfish. When I asked what he did all day, he said he napped. He napped the whole day while I was struggling to stay standing. I broke down and cried. He apologized profusely, showering me with sorries and I love yous. For the first time ever, I couldn't say I love you back. Now it's 2 a.m., and I can't sleep because I'm so distraught. He's snoring next to me, and I hate him right now. I want to take my baby and run away. I don't want to live here anymore. Being a single mom seems easier than dealing with all this emotional stress and neglect. What am I supposed to do? I can't believe I'm ready to leave him all because he took a nap. Comment 1. You're leaving him because he's a bad father and an even worse husband, not because he took a nap. Comment 2. Aw man. This is classic. When you finally divorce him, he will be shocked, and you will be relieved. Men like this are emotionally stunted and can't empathize properly until you're literally breaking down and forcing them to care. Then you get apologies, but there won't be change. Talk about exhausting and unsustainable. Personally, I would run. Maybe leaving, even if it's for a break, could be a wake-up call, though I doubt sustained change. Comment 3. It's not just the nap, it's the culmination of all this other shit. He needs to get his shit together and remember that you need a break, and he's the father of this baby and needs to act like it by helping out. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and we will see you in the next video.